So I just thought I'd create a quick video in order to go through an example of a customer chatbot on OpenAI's Agent Builder. So this is just kind of a sample one just to see the different nodes that are involved, how it differs maybe to N8N or make.com if you've used other drag and drop no code tools. And just to kind of get used to the UI and just kind of what you should expect and good practices that you should kind of get used to doing. So I thought I'd just give a quick run through for this, not a long video, but just to kind of go through what's involved with this this whole customer chatbot that we've got here. So the first thing that we've got is this jailbreak guardrail little node. And this is probably one of the more helpful tools that is available on other things, but it's not as necessarily commonly used across a lot of template N8Ns that I see or other no-code tools. It's really helpful in the sense that basically this jailbreak guardrail helps prevent prompt injection, which is maybe a more newer term to some people because you might know of it of SQL injection if you're a little bit more technical. Prompt injection is kind of just a way that people try and manipulate prompts or use prompts to manipulate AI. And this essentially just tries to pick up the sentiment of the person that's using it to determine, are they trying to do something that they shouldn't be doing? And if they are, then it will just end it. And that obviously helps to prevent any issues with them trying to basically do things that they shouldn't be doing. So it kind of helps to future-proof things, because I don't feel like prompt injection outside of kind of the general manipulation people do with chatbots currently, you know, as the kind of chatbots have a little bit more ability to do different things, you want to make sure you have these kind of measures in place right from the get-go. So it's a good thing to have as a first stop for the node. Moving on, you then go to this classification agent. It's essentially just what the name says. It will determine if the user is trying to return an item, cancels their subscription, or get any information. We will do a quick preview of the actual chatbot in action. So if you want to see it all, go through and see how it handles different situations, then obviously that's a good way to be able to see that all from front to back. And then depend on that, it then goes into either one of these agents. This is something that's particularly good with OpenAI's Agent Builder because it's a lot more adaptable for determining kind of the route that it's going to go, whereas you can find with other kind of tools it's less kind of multi-agent, has less multi-agent adaptability. And I think this with OpenAI's Agent Builder, although on the whole it's probably a lot less there's a lot less fine-tuning that you can do with it, it is kind of better in some ways for how it can adapt and change for what you need it to do, and that's what you can see here with these different agents that have different configurations. So we'll go through each of those now as well. So we'll start off with this information agent at the bottom. It gives some instructions for each kind of prompts, if you like. You can add extra kind of roles within them. You might recognize this if you've ever done any agent configuration before, where you can change the user or the assistant. In this example, it doesn't use that. Instead, it kind of just does this big prompt with loads of information. In this case, it's a telecommunications company. I might personally, if I was in this position, there's going to be a lot more information possible that can be given out than just what will fit into a prompt. So you do also have the option of adding a little tool, which you can see here. And that basically just allows you to go to, it's blocked off a little bit on the actual camera, but you can essentially open a little file search node on there, or you can add a separate node you can see on the side here. And that just allows you to put all of the information into like files instead, so it can be searched through that way rather than putting it all into the instructions. It just depends on how many instructions you're planning on giving it, or how much information you plan on giving it, as to whether you might use a file store or whether you want to put it all into the prompt. In the case of a cancel subscription request, it goes to this retention agent, which is just given instructions here for what it should do. And in this case, instead of putting everything inside of this instruction, it shows what it can do here with functions. So you'll see this reference here, get retention offers, which is a function which is just added here in the tools section. You can open that up and it will just give kind of, this is just the format that they use. So to kind of run through this function, it gives the name, it gives a description of what it does, so that can help the AI to know whether it should be called or not. You'll notice down here it has a required for the different variables that are needed, and then gives a description of each of these variables here, so the customer ID, the account type. So if you do ask to cancel your subscription, it will kind of ask for these details, or try and make sure to retrieve these details before doing that. So you'll notice that when you actually preview the the agent itself. The last agent is pretty simple. It's literally just as the instruction of offer a replacement device for with free shipping, and then it goes through to another node. Does the user want that? If it does, then approve it, and then obviously you go off and do something here. In this case, both of them just result in end, but you obviously go through a process. You might, in also in a lot of other these things as well. For example, if neither of these conditions are met, instead of just going to end, you could just obviously ask for human intervention. If you sent off this to then call up or ask for it to be refer to a human. So click on this little preview up at the top right, which you need to verify your organization in order to use it as well. Just as if you do go to do this yourself, it's not too difficult. You just have to kind of do one of those video yourself to prove that your identity kind of thing. Then obviously you can send a message. So say, I'm not happy with my item. So first of all, it'll check if it's malicious. Doesn't seem like it's malicious, so it will go through to the classification agent. It will then go through to the return item. Sorry, you're not happy with it. I can offer you a replacement device with free shipping. Please provide your order number and details of the issue so we can proceed. Then just comes up with button, so it's approve or reject. You could argue that this could go into the retention agent, because you could say, well, I'm not happy with it, but they could ask, well, could we offer something different? But that could be changed in the parameters. So obviously then you can approve or reject, and then it will end the whole workflow. Something that I've realised with the return agent is it's more in reference to items, whereas the retention agent is in reference to subscriptions, which I guess you could say makes more sense. So then if you were to say, I want to cancel my subscription maybe. Once again, it'll go through the jailbreak, guardrail, follow through to the classification agent. It then recognises the cancel subscription as the key information. Obviously, it doesn't have to be as obvious as cancel your subscription. It will infer it itself, which is where the benefits come from OpenAI's agent builder, but also the kind of disadvantage in that it's less predictable in what it could do, but it also makes it more adaptable as well, which is why these guardrails are also as important as I mentioned at the start. I'm sorry to hear you're considering cancelling your subscription. Could you please tell me which plan you're currently on and what is making you want to cancel? I'm on the premium plan, and I'm not happy with the service. So then it will offer the 20% discount. It will carry on going further, and then you just insist that you want to cancel, and it should then just say, okay, we'll cancel it, or it'll ask for the specific details that it mentioned before that it will need in order to be able to cancel your subscription for you. But it just gives an idea on really what you can do with this, how it does adapt to what you say under the conditions, and you definitely could expand it out a lot more. I'm considering maybe doing a video on comparing this directly with NA10 and seeing how that, if it's a similar kind of amount of work for both chatbots, compare, it doing the exact same service for a same demo company, and then see which one of them people might prefer. I'm not sure if that would be of interest or not, but yeah, so I understand. Would you like me to proceed with the cancellation? Obviously you just say yes. It then goes on to ask customer ID 123 and 123. So once you've then put your information in of the different plan or the different customer ID and whether you've had previous complaints and all that, then it will go through to this function itself to then determine what offers it can actually provide for you. It gives these multiple offers here, and then it will just put this in as a final thing. It's quite, I'd say it's quite like a naggy kind of agent in the sense that it just keeps saying it. Obviously that can be altered depending on if you just want the person to be able to say, no, I want to cancel it. I mean, some people prefer a bit more persistent retention services when it comes to cancelling subscriptions, so maybe this works for some. And finally, after just put in the no cancel it for like the third or fourth time, it eventually then just goes, okay, I'll cancel your subscription. So it does eventually admit to cancelling it, but it's quite a pushy agent.